everyone, welcome to the Race on Oz series. We're straight into it tonight. Sorry I didn't get to do any introductions, but here's the 9-field roundup of the Audi S7 VGT. We've seen them in before. The Race on Oz boys are going to do a fantastic show. Now, I'll let you know what's going on with me. Before the first lights go out here, we'll wait and see what happens. 4 lights, top of your screen. Underway, the green lights are out, and it looks like Keaton on the front line, just taking off Esman. There's a few new names that I'm going to have to get used to. Coming up to the first turn now, the hairpin, Big Chopper Dog being squeezed in the pack there. And it looks like we've got a car around. It's Hatfield. Hatfield has found himself in some trouble there with pubs, and they're restarting. 48 laps, of course, here at the Nurburgring GP, and it's Keaton 2-3-1 from S-Man, Big Chopper Dog, the Brian F, and John O'Stan, one of the few of the favourite names from a few of the previous broadcasts we've done before. Now, I do apologise for being so sudden with tonight's stream, but I'm sure you'll be enjoying it wherever you are in the world. And we also would like to welcome back Race on Oz to the esports schedule. New schedule coming up here on Demo and Garage. As we want Brian F take his 711 branded VGT around the Nurburgring track here. It's Keaton for Turn Left Racing in the front, and he will lead the field off here coming up to the end of the first lap. Clean lap from him. We'll have a replay of what happened to the back end of the field. There's Big Chopper Dog on the gearbox of S-Man here. A few of the boys coming into the final chicane. In the final third spot there, you can see S-Man went a little wide, hitting the bollard, but he'll continue. John O'Stan now right on the tail end of Brian F, putting intense pressure as we finish the first lap. And you can see he's trying to break that slipstream immediately, but it doesn't look like it's working there for Brian, as Jono sticks with him. Wasn't able to get the overtake done. But as usual, some awesome liveries here by the Race on Oz boys. Always doing a good job. 48 laps, we're in the second lap now. Oh, a bit of a squiggle from Jono. So he's just starting to press the limits of grip. And there is some regulations to talk about as well. We'll get through those in just a moment for you as well. Welcome everybody. Here at the back end, we've got Pubs and Hatfield. Working for those out there, but here we go. Pubs and Hatfield putting on a great show as they put on a recovery drive now. They've got a lot of time ahead of them, so at least that's working in their favour. And welcome John McMillan, Prince of Underground. What's going on? Just getting to the chat now. I'm a little bit behind schedule tonight, guys, but thanks for sticking around. Hopefully you're going to enjoy this one. I'm going to get a replay of the first lap incident. Here's Esman and Big Chopper Dog right now. He's put on a lot of pressure, Big Chopper Dog. And the Turn Left Racing boys, 2 podiums at the moment, so they're looking good. Looking really good. Brian F as well, he's in 4th. Jono stands up there as well. So there's a lot of talent in the field, and interesting to see what strategies they're going to run, because there is a mandatory compound for these boys to run tonight, which is the medium, I believe. VGT cars, they almost look like the LaFerrari. I thought, oh, Jono again on the edge of grip. He's really pushing it, but the more he goes sideways, the slower his lap times, and then you're going to see the likes of Brian, Big and Esman in front of him continue to open up the gap, which is at about 1.5 seconds at the moment. Here's the front of the field. It's still Keaton 2-3-1. He had a win last week, I believe. I've been informed. So he's looking to run that into 2 weeks straight now, which is a good thing. Just like to let you guys out know there as well, things are about to become a lot more scheduled here on the channel, including my own streaming where I race and the esports series racing as well. RaceOnOz, F&O on esports, and a few others. SFR GT Challenge is tomorrow as well, so don't forget those are coming. I will be putting up a schedule up. Give me a few weeks for that, and then you can start organising your weeks around some real motorsport, and as well as the likes of the esport racing we have here. Thank you, John. That's awesome, man. Thanks for coming around. We've had a few. We've lost a lot of subscribers lately. I think there's a lot of people out there in the esports community that love the esports, and there's a few out there that just will not give it a go. So we have lost a few, but it's good to know that you yourself out there are a big fan of esports. It's going to be a massively growing thing as well, and it's going to be racing series like the RaceOnOz stuff, like the SFR GT Challenge and the F&O on esports F1. You know, where we see our next big stars come from as well. So they always put on some great show. Big Chopper trying to get a move on S-Man coming up, but S-Man with the inside line defending it perfectly. Big Chopper not able to get a move done. Now let's get a replay of that first lap incident. I think Pubs was involved. Let's have a look here. Pubs coming down to the first turn. Got a bit wild. We had a few. It was Hatfield down there. Oh no, Pubs was turned around. Look at that. He's currently in 8th position right now. Hatfield still on the tail of him in the Selby car. Let's have a look. Another one. On board with Hatfield. Let's have a look. Oh, he gave him a punt. Pubs, just nicked on that inside curbing. And you can see Hatfield did the right thing and readdressed the situation. So some perfect sportsmanship in play. That's what we like to see. He's back on board though, and he's given Pubs a hard time trying to get it up the inside into the last turn. And you can see Razor's into the pits for the first time, and he'll feed back down to the back of the grid. But at the moment, it's Hatfield and Razor. They're fighting for the final spot here, coming into lap 5. Hatfield down the inside. Pubs, he's going to have to go the long way round. Will it stick for him, though? Hatfield needs to get the power down. He's going to give Pubs the inside line here, and it's done for Hatfield there. Perfect move. Well set up, well timed, clean as well. That's what you like to see. Now, the leader is still Keaton, and look at that lead. He's got 4.5 seconds on the rest of the field. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend as well, everyone. Because the Le Mans is on as well, so I know there's probably a lot of people out there watching both at the same time. Here's Esmond and Big Chopper Dog. Big Chopper Dog's been trying now for a few laps. So the regulations are, guys, they must use the medium tyres once. Then the softs are available. You also must start on your qualifying tyre. So if they qualified on the medium, they race on the medium. Now let's have a look and see what tyre Esmond and Big Chopper started the race on. Racing softs at the moment. Racing softs for Big Chopper and Keaton. Similar thing, so the medium's still not out of the way, but I forget who we saw going into the pits early on. Has already done them. It looked like they've already finished the medium off, so they're good to go. Back to the live action as Keaton takes us around to the start of the 6th lap. This is where the battle's going on for the final podium, though, and it's Big Chopper against Espen. Seen a few good overtakes already. And Espen at the moment, inside line. Big Chopper trying to get it done around the outside, trying to put the power down in the VGT. Powerful cars, 1,000 horsepower, mid-engine car as well. So pretty good weight distribution between the front and the rear. But at the moment, just some clean racing up front. As we go through the field, Brian F. in the 711 car. He's sitting in fourth spot quite comfortably at the moment. This is Jono. He's backed off a little bit now. You can see the gaps is really starting to build as strategy will come into play. And it's a really tight field here. We've got 3 cars here. Knoxry leads them. 6th is Knoxry rather. Hatfield coming down the inside. Not going to get it done. He needs to make it stick though. We ride on board with Hatfield up through the Michael Schumacher S's. Doesn't look like it was flat out. Looked like he lifted there a little. Bastian. BOP. Oh, back. That's a bit of a punch into the rear of Knox. Knox made the corner though. Light damage is on, so if the cars do get damaged at all, it will be slowly repairing, but there is the chance that if they hit each other hard enough, they can, be penalised with some damage for a little while. And you can see Hatfield made that work through the chicane. Knoxry, though, not letting up. He's going to be run wide here, and he might have to secede, and he does. And Hatfield with a beautiful move. Let's take a look. This is where it all started. Hatfield put on the moves. He had the he didn't have the optimal line here, but he somehow made it work. Knoxry, we got a little bit of a punch through there, and I think that might have set off Knoxry's momentum a little bit, giving Hatfield the advantage he required. And that's 6th for him right now. Knoxry will sit in 7th with Pubs right on the gearbox. Espen starting to build the lead though on his competitor Big Chopper Dog. You can see that gap now physically opening up, and it's 1.5 seconds on the timing sheets. Big Chopper Dog with a similar gap to him back to Bryant. And then it's Jono Stan in 5th position. Hatfield getting 6th just on the last lap, and this is where we've got some battle for track position going on. Knoxry having to do some defending now as we come to the Schumacher S's once again. And it's UNC Pubs giving him all sorts of grief, trying to force him into an error. He might have got the move done here, and it could be on, and it is. Knoxry will have to. That's another spot lost. Now let's just check what tyres Knoxry's using. He's on the racing softs. Oh, wide there for Pubs. Pubs is on the same tyres as well, so it's not a compound difference. Go see that move from Pubs and exactly what went wrong for him. He waited for the right moment, which he's done the right thing here. In he comes, inside line. He had a bit of an incident exiting out this last corner though. He just saved it at the last moment. Oh, he's hit the gravel. Very lucky not to have spun his VGT in a 360, because he would have been well off the back end of Knoxry then. John, I know it's been answered, but it is Gran Turismo Sport. It's only on the PlayStation 4. It's obviously Gran Turismo's always been a PlayStation exclusive. It does look. It is a game that I think is one of the best looking racing games out there for sure. Not everyone's favourite or go-to racing game, but it's definitely a visual feast. Now Espen, you can see Brian F. is just keeping within touching distance of Big here. Chopper Dog biding his time. So they've all got to use that medium tyre at the moment. The front three haven't used it. These are Fittipaldi VGTs, Dan. They do look like the LaFerrari though, don't they? I thought they were, because this is the first time I've managed to get in and commentate for them this season, since we were watching them in the Renault Meganes last season. And yes, it's I think it's a concept car. I don't know if it's a real car or not, actually. That's a good question. Can someone go out there and do the studies for me? But it's a car that's in Gran Turismo Sport. It's called the Fittipaldi VGT. It's got about 1,000 brake horsepower, mid-engined. And it's one of the quicker cars in the game, so there's a lot of power to it. I actually don't know if it's a concept or a real car. I'm sure someone does out there. There's always someone who knows a little bit more than me. UNC Pubs, well, he's in 7th spot, and he's really starting to make some moves up the field now. Hatfield, though, on a mission to get away. And this is Razor. I think Razor was the first one we saw enter the pits for the Gamesman team. So he's already used his medium tyre, we think. It was definitely the tyre he qualified on, because he started on it. At least we think anyway. Let's have a look at the telemetry. It will tell us. Yeah, he's on the racing soft now, and I'm pretty sure he's been into the pits and he's come out. He did tell us he was on the medium when he went into the pits for the first time, so it looks like his is out of the way. It could be a 3 or 4 stop depending on what they choose tonight. So we're just coming up into lap 10 as Keaton rounds the final bend and gets a great exit. 7.7 seconds the lead already. He's on a mission to probably build one of the biggest leading gaps we've seen. No mistakes at the moment for him. None that we've seen. A little bit wide there, but it won't cost him too much time, especially with a lead like that. He's able to absorb that without too much problems. And we can see John O'Stan has gone in himself, and he was on the racing medium, so he'll be getting rid of those now. As the pit crew wait for him, let's see what he goes to. Racing soft seems to be the obvious choice. The air jacks come up, off they go, and he's taking fuel as well. So how long's he been on the fuel here? A lot of fuel for Jono. That would explain why Razor was so far back down the field. He must have taken on a lot of fuel himself. Racing sauce for Jono. And he goes from 5th to 9th. But he's through the pit stops now. Keaton leads. Then it's Essman. And then it's Chopper Dog. Brian F. Hatfield in 5th. Hatfield's made a move. Oh, he's actually gone up because we had a man in the pits, obviously. And there's Pubs. Knox right. Razor. He moved up one as Jono went into the pits himself. And he's back 20 seconds off Razor. And he's about a minute off the lead. He did have a long time in the pits, but Keaton and Essman and Chopper Dog, they're all going to have to do similar things. Keaton not choosing to go in this lap. Let's see what Essman does. Yeah, Danny, like I totally agree with you with the way the front end looks, especially some side angles as well. It sort of looks like a Ferrari. The 488, I see exactly what you're talking about there. It very much looks like it was influenced by the looks of that car. Sometimes I see 4GT in the front, especially when you see the scoops in the hood. But it's a pleasing car to look at though. Definitely quick one. Brian F's really closing that gap now on Chopper Dog, so looks like we've got some competition now for the podium spot. We're riding on board with Brian. So the Fittipaldi EF7 VGT is the chassis or model and car name. Where did Bo go? I think Bo's out, Daniel. Unless he... Good question. We're 9, so Bo... Unless Bo didn't make it. I'll go through the field for you. Unless Bo's got a new PSN name that I'm not aware of, because I know some people have probably chosen some new PlayStation names since that renaming feature came in. But there's Esmond. Oh. Lots of sparks out the back of that one as he's just come off the curbing. And Chopper Dog. Oh, lots of cutting there. He almost didn't make that corner then. He goes into the pits. What happened here? He's just cut the corner. Nothing major, but he's gone into the pits as well. So you can see he's almost used all his fuel. So 11 laps. So I wonder if some of the guys are doing some fuel saving. 12 laps. We, I think, should get out of the rest of the field. So we should see Keaton come in at least this lap. Probably because he won't be able to do any bigger stint on the fuel. As you can see, Big Chopper Dog wasn't able to run more than 11, so he must have been pushing very hard, trying to close some gaps here and there. And he's going to take a lot of fuel this turn as well. He will exit. Will he come out in front of Jono? He's taken the medium tyre for this stint as well. So Big Chopper, he can tick him off your list. He's got the medium tyre on. He does come out in 8th, 8 seconds behind Razor. Through the Schumacher S's is Keaton. And it's just a stomping lead here, 11.1 seconds after 12 laps. He's gaining a second a lap here, and that's some phenomenal pace for the Turn Left Racing team. Put it on the Stig. Ooh, I will. We'll just check what Keaton's done. Stig was always a fan favourite, and Keaton does go in. Now, I've missed it, but Brian's made the overtake, and Hatfield is well off the pace. Back down 16 seconds. There must have been an error made from Hatfield. We've unfortunately missed it, but it's pushed him all the way back to Pubs. Keaton and Esmond have gone in, so Brian will take the lead of this race. Brian must be doing some phenomenal fuel saving as he's running into his 13th lap. We also get the rest of the field coming in now. This is Hatfield, Keaton, Esmond, and Pubs. But there's Brian just coming out of the Mercedes complex. Keaton getting into the first turn, and he'll return into second spot, obviously. Got a nice lead. Esmond takes the medium tyre as well this stint. This is Jono. He went in early. Will he make up much time here? Let's have a look. He was running 5th position. A few of the cars are in the pits this time. Hopefully he gets a few more spots. Yellow flag out in the sector. He doesn't reclaim it. He doesn't reclaim it. Jono. I wonder if he's lost time. He's still running 9th spot. This is Brian though. He leads this race. And maybe it's going to be it's going to be more about the strategy he made here today than just outright pace. Because Brian, he's been competing up the front, but he's now run a lap longer than what the rest of the field have, and it's going to put him out of sequence, which could mean the difference at the end of the 48 laps. And he will come in. But if he can make his car run that much... Look at that. He's still got 5% left of fuel. When we saw some drivers getting 11 laps in with 3% left. So there was some fuel saving definitely from Brian. Brian's got a lot more pace to show. Keaton's coming through And there's Noxray in the 3rd spot. His Razor, he's pushed himself up to 4th. So that early stop at the moment is looking good for him. He makes an overtake into the last turn. A beautiful move from Razor. And he's really on the push now. So this was Razor coming in to make his overtake. Noxray in front. Gets it done. Pushes on. So Noxray, we would have to think, is probably doing some fuel saving this stint. This is Brian and Espen. Espen was up there. Brian with the long run has come out in 4th in front of Espen here. So the undercut working for him this time around. Sorry, the overcut rather. Running the longest stint has actually gained him time overall. Espen almost drifting through that corner. Getting the card sideways, seeing a bit of a wobble on exit. He's really trying to pressure Brian into a mistake, but it looks like he's pushing himself just a little bit too far over that ragged edge. As we start getting into the meat of this race, as all the cars have gone through their first stint. 3, maybe 4 pit stops, depending on the strategy at play. And at the moment, Brian F is looking like one of the favourites here, I would have to say, along with Keaton. And how their strategies change things up at the end of this race is going to be one to watch. SS Man. You're right, Daniel. It is double S Man. But I always like to... I should probably call him SS Man, because it's probably in reference to the Holden SS, I'd imagine. Here he goes. He's gone for a move. Noxray's in the pits, by the way, on lap 15. So was Noxray saving fuel? Because I don't remember Noxray going in earlier on. Anyway, SS Man. Here he is, the gold wheels against the silver wheels. I wonder if that's going to give him, if that's an omen for him here tonight. Thinking positive can sometimes get you the results. At the moment, he's lost a bit of time to Brian F through that sector. And Brian's doing a phenomenal drive here in the number 40. This is Keed. 2.7 seconds the lead from Razor. So Razor has actually come back into this. He was an early pit stop, qualified on the mediums, but it looks like his pace on the soft tyre, which he's on now, is very, very good. Probably comparable to that of Keaton's. So Keaton could be under some pressure early. No, Razor's actually come in, so he's well off sequence with the rest of the field here. This is going to be very interesting to watch. Razor is definitely one to watch. 15 laps in, he's got 4% fuel left. So that means Brian will come around and take second spot. Big Chopper Dog might be able to do it as well. Prince telling us 2 hours left in the Le Mans 24-hour. You will definitely get to see the last hour if you watch this. You'll have enough time to go back and watch the last hour. And update from Prince of Underground, one of my all-time regulars and one of my favourites, obviously. Thank you for the update, man. Le Mans update, LMP1, Toyota number 7 is running first. In LMP2, it's the Signatech Alpine number 36. GTE Pro, the AF Corsa Ferrari 458, which that's awesome news for me. I'm a massive Ferrari fan. So I'm really happy to see that. I know the Corvette was leading that at one point. GTEM is the Keating Motorsports Ford GT, which is the first time the GTM class has had the Ford GT run. So people were complaining about the balance of performance that car had. Now in this series, I do believe they're all running exactly the same spec. You could say BOP or homologated. So it's all down to the driver to get the most out of the car on the day. The strategy, well, you can do whatever you want. As you can see, Razor's well out of sync with everyone else, but he could be a contender here at the end of it. We're going to have to watch out. Keaton, though, he's got that free air again. The lead 14 seconds from Brian, but Brian can also run a lap longer, which means he could be ahead for the last lap. So Razor's done 2 stops so far and got the medium stint out of the way early on. We know the rest of the few now on their second stint have taken the medium this time round. SS Man in third for now, and he's having a relatively clean race. This is Big Chopper Dog. Pubs him up into 5th right now, and he's got Hatfield for company. Hatfield has been pretty much with him this entire race right now as they navigate the way through the Mercedes complex, get around to the second third of this track here at the Nurburgring GP. It's the Grand Prix layout. And Pubs is definitely under the pump. Well, Prince has just told us if you're watching live, the number 81 BMW is officially out of the Le Mans 24-hour. We haven't lost anyone here yet, as we are just coming up to about a third of the way through this one. Got 2/3 to go. Not quite the field of Le Mans though. Oh, look at this, Hatfield. Some action already. As that was happening, Hatfield was door-to-door with Pubs. And he's really starting to put the pressure on here. The speed turned up in Hatfield's car, it would seem. And he's got the overtake done just before the chicane, and Pubs just lets him go. Not too much of a drama there, but Hatfield's got a job to do now. He wants to get further up the road and catch up to the likes of Chopper Dog and SS Man. This was on board with Hatfield before the overtake. Ooh, Pubs went wide there. Hatfield got a lot more power down. That's where he went door-to-door with him. But, yeah, look at that. Power down a lot quicker than what Pubs could do. And there was absolutely nothing he could do about that. Hatfield was going to always be quicker with a superior exit. He finds himself in the 5th spot. And he's made quite some move already in that lap. Quite a lot of headway. 1.5 seconds already on Pubs. So it's always difficult to tell when they're saving fuel, turning the engine down to aid with that, and when they're pushing hard to get in pure speed and some good lap times. There's Chopper Dog in 4th. You can see Hatfield is not too far away, so it's not going to be long before we start seeing the bulk of the field take to their second stop. But it's going to be interesting to see, especially Brian, when he goes for his. He got in about, what was it, 14 laps, 13 laps from memory? A lot longer than what the rest of the field did. And there's SS Man. He now seems a long, long way away, almost 5 seconds off. Agreed, Prince. Pubs and Hatfield they've had a really good recovery run after what they had at the start. There's Knoxry down to 9th. I think Knoxry is doing some big fuel-saving runs here. He's going the long game, and he's hoping to have the pace at the end. But will it work? He's down. He's 51 seconds off the leader at the moment. So he's going to need to put in some really quick laps soon, I think. But we'll keep an eye on him. Here's Keaton, though. Just a flawless race so far. Touch wood. No commentator's curse. Sort of ruins that for him. But Keaton 231 is leading this one, and he would seem to be the favourite. But, like I said, watch the strategies. The likes of Razor and Brian F. They could come into play here. You never know. Knoxry might have something up his sleeve that we just don't see coming. So don't for a minute discount anyone. And a lot like Prince told us, Hatfield and Pubs, with their lap 1 incident, they've really done a good job to recover. So here's Brian. You can see the difference between that's 13 seconds, the gap between him and Keaton, and he's opened his gap with SS Man to over 6. So Brian is really starting to put in the quick laps for this stint. So we probably will see him in a little bit earlier on than what he managed in his first because of fuel runs. Now the field is starting to get compressed in the middle here. There's Razor with some competition, but this is Chopper Dog. He's got Hatfield with him, and it's not going to be long before one of these try to take a move. So watch out here. This is Razor as well. You can see he's in 6th, but Pubs is right on him. Oh, Razor going in a little bit too quick there. Here goes Chopper Dog. He might try and get the move done here. Hatfield. Sorry. Chopper Dog defending well. He needs to keep his composure here. He's looking at the back end of Chopper Dog's turn left racing entry as Hatfield gives chase. So there's been a driver change in the Le Mans, by the way. Number 7 taking out Kobayashi. Big Lopez in. Daniel Spence. Knoxry's name was translated from Dark Sun. He could be the dark horse of this race, Daniel. You never know. I think we should watch out for him. Here we go. Chopper Dog and Hatfield. You can see Razor's managed to pull a little bit of a gap between him and Pubs, but not the case here with Chopper Dog. Hatfield really putting the pressure on. And you can see Chopper Dog trying to get the power down quickly. The tail end squirrels around. You can see the back end wobble left to right. Hatfield following in the slipstream. You get him under braking. He's got the inside line. Great move. Chopper Dog tries to turn in, but Hatfield was there. Nothing nasty about that. Rubbing is racing, they say. And Hatfield moves himself into 4th position. And off he can go, because he looked like he had the superior pace. Oh, he's cut the corner there a little bit too eager to get the turn in done. But he should be okay. Here we go. You can see that's Hatfield behind, using the draft at the last minute, popping to the inside. There was gap to do it. You can see Chopper tried to turn in on him, but like I said, Hatfield was there. And he closed the door. Great stuff here in the RaceOnOz VGT Endurance Championship here. This is round number 5 from the Nurburgring GP, and I'm your commentator, Josh, from Demo 1 Garage. If you like Formula, if you like all motorsports, esports, especially Make sure you've hit the subscribe or like button, follow wherever you're watching us from on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook, so you get to see more and more of it as we do it. We will have more coming in the future with more scheduled races as well, so you know exactly when they'll be on. But don't forget to always hit like, subscribe, follow. It helps us out as well, guys, so you don't miss the next race. Now, Razor looks like he's really starting to close down in on Big Chopper Dog here. Big Chopper Dog just looks like he's sort of just searching for grip at the moment. This is Razor. His last lap was a 150. You can see he's about half a second off Chopper here. Oh, Chopper with a really, really scary moment. There's Razor closing the gap, and I think Razor's got the better pace here. Razor is well off sequence with what the rest of the field are doing here. We should start seeing the next round of pit stops soon. And one to watch is Brian. We want to see how long he runs this stint for. Look at Razor though, right on that exhaust pipe of Chopper Dog. Chopper Dog will be feeling the heat. He's done a great job at the moment. This was an earlier moment from him though, from Chopper Dog, trying to get the power down early. And look at that. Oh, backhand out, left and right. He caught it though. He still runs fifth though. He's doing a fantastic job defending from Razor. Razor with a very leftist center strategy tonight. Oh, again, Chopper Dog almost drifting it in, and that's going to be a move for Razor. He gets door to door, and they're drag racing now, and I think Razor might have the advantage. Chopper will have the inside line, bit of a touch, and I think Razor has it. Chopper though with the inside line. Razor turns in. Don't know if Chopper liked that one. That was an aggressive move, but nonetheless it was a move by Razor. Chopper though with an instant reply. Let's see what he can do down the front straight, because he's going to be in the draft of Razor here that could help him pull along, make a move, or is he just saving fuel? Because the car, if he's saving fuel, he would have turned the engine down, and that means he won't have the outright pace that Razor's got right now. Let's have a look at what happened coming into this one. Chopper Dog got very drifty through there, and that's where Razor had the better exit. And then it was a drag race. See, they were door to door. Razor trying to use the full width of the road. And watch where Razor turns in here. Oh no, it looked, the angle we had looked a little bit more aggressive than that. So Razor did absolutely nothing wrong. Not that we were insisting he did in the first place. He just looked a lot more aggressive from the reverse angle we had. But a great move. And Chopper Dog holds off fifth. Razor's having a fantastic race. He could win this on strategy. So we're going to have to keep an eye on him. We're coming up to halfway already. This race is flying by. Prince, I'll be here. We should be for in the next 20 minutes. It'll be near the end of the race, but definitely still be here, I'd imagine. Keaton, Daniel's telling us Keaton is a former GT Academy driver. I didn't know that, so thank you very much. Daniel Spence giving us all the tidbits. Big Chopper Dog actually has a pet sausage dog. I don't know if that's fact or fiction, but it's a good story. Daniel, I like your little info bits there. They're amusing. Whether or not they're real or not, I don't know. But like I said, why ruin a good story? So, the GT Academy driver, Keaton 231, or former GT Academy driver, leading this one. Look at that, using all the curb in the world. 13.1 seconds. His pace is on fire. Brian might have a difficult time catching up. Now let's actually go and take a look. This is Keaton's telemetry down the bottom there. You can see he's almost out of fuel. So is he lifting and coasting at all? His medium tyres are going to last him a lot long. We've lost someone from the room, unfortunately. As I've done that, Keaton's come into pit. So, Brian's coming through. Brian, we would think, will take the lead of this race. He doesn't pit yet. Keaton does. So Keaton's on point for the 12-12-12 strategy. What will Brian do here? It will be the quicker tyre, I'd imagine, for Keaton after getting a full tank of fuel. SS Man's in as well. He's done the medium stint there. Hatfield's come in. So Hatfield's had a really good run. And Razor coming across the start-finish. And I think Keaton will get it in front of him. No, Keaton will be now in third spot. The lowest we've seen him all race, I think. Or was he fourth at one point coming after the first stint? Either way, he's not first anymore. And Razor's taken that away from him, just getting it done. Razor's well off sequence though, so it's going to be, like I said, interesting to see where it all ends up and playing out. Brian has a 21-second lead now as he's extending his run a lot longer than what we've seen the rest of the field do. Big chopper dog getting in to the pits there with zero fuel, timing that to perfection. And it's actually going to be him and Pubs coming out at the same time. Teammate against teammate. Pubs will win that one out. He will run wide. Chopper Dog, though, I think will give him the track room. And they will continue on their way. So Brian in the lead. He's coming up to the end of the lap 25. Will he extend this run a little bit more? He will. Razor has maintained second. We have seen him battle with Keaton earlier on, but right now he's in front thanks to his strategy. And in the number 8 Toyota, Alonso is out and Nakajima is in. So driver swap there in the Le Mans 24-hour. If you're actually wanting some updates, if you're watching us live, thank you very much. We're watching the battle here between Keaton and Razor. This is Keaton. He's flooring it down into the first turn. Taking all of the apex that he can and all of the corner out of the corner by trying to make it as straight as possible. At the same time, he's trying to keep up with Razor here. This is Razor. Again, another quick driver showing some phenomenal pace. And I'd have to say his unique strategy at the moment has put him where he is right now. Luigi Riccio. I think you're asking what game they're playing. I can read a bit of Italian. I'm pretty sure you're asking about that. They're playing Gran Turismo Sport. I think that's what you're asking. Aiden Matthews, he reckons Keaton's a hacker. Well, we've been told he's a former GT Academy driver. And you know GT Academy drivers, they're quick boys. Look at this, Razor now right under the pump. Keaton in the brake, a lot more confident. Razor will have to go in though, so that would have been why. Razor would have been at the end of his tyre life Brian F went in as well. So Razor's on his third stop. Brian's on his second. So Razor's way off sequence. 4 stops, I'd imagine, for Razor. Brian taking a lot of fuel. And there comes Razor as well. As you can see, him coming in on the air jacks. He's almost got no fuel left. SS Man. He'll be back in this one. He'll be playing with podium positions soon enough. And Brian's out in some clean air. So he's second easily. There's SS Man. Noxrise being promoted to 4th, 5th. I think Razor's coming out, so Razor's going to be in some traffic here. He will be. It'll be 5th for Razor at the moment. Now, I did say keep an eye on Noxrai. I think Noxrai is doing some massive fuel-saving runs. And look where he is now. He's in 4th. There's all sorts of strategy going on here, and that is what makes this so unpredictable at the moment. We are past the halfway mark, but I can tell, I think anyone's in for it here. Razor's just come out, so he's got some fresh rubber. He should be a little bit quicker. The car will be slightly heavier, because he would have taken almost a full tank of fuel here. And Razor might get it done here. Noxrai running wide, and it will be a move. Great stuff from Razor, clean. Saw the mistake, capitalized on the moment, and that's what you have to do. See Noxrai just couldn't get the car turned in. Understeering a lot, and an easy move for Razor there. He's got some clear road ahead of him though. As we go back to the live pictures, SS Man in front of him by 5 seconds. So SS Man a little bit off sequence as well now. So a few of the guys are running interesting second stint strategies. Blue flags. I think that's actually just the game not quite recognising where the drivers are properly on track, so I would ignore them. Chopper Dogs in front of Pubs. And the two teammates, they're almost running identical strategies here, so I'd imagine they've worked that out pre-race, and they've decided that's the best way to go. Chopper Dog's got the advantage on his teammate though. Keaton, 17.2 seconds. The GT Academy hacker leading this one on lap 28. Adam disconnected. Yeah, Jono disconnected Adam. Yeah, Bo was a quick driver. Very quick RaceOnOz driver back in the last season where we were broadcasting. Would have been very interesting to see him up against Keaton. Maybe we can make that happen again. You never know. So as we go through the field, you can see this is exactly what happened halfway through the first stint. The field got separated and then it all gets compressed once all the strategies start meeting up. So Noxrai's in. So a few guys will get in front now. So Noxrai did a very long run. He's got 2% fuel. He was on the soft tyre then, and he will have to take a lot of more fuel in the 84 Turtle Beach VGT. Let's just see exactly how much and what tyre he chooses to go to. He's now at the back of the field. but it will be the medium. So his medium stint is on his third go around. The rest of the cars, we believe, have ticked it off their list. So Brian is trying to eliminate that gap between him and the leader. And at the moment, it's very hard to call because it's going to come down to strategy here and who exactly's got the pace and the fuel and the grip on the right lap. Lap 48 when we get to that last lap. So who can time it and extend properly? Brian did a very long first stint, extending for a long, long time. That has worked for him. He's up in the second. And I've seen Brian do some crazy strategies over the races. I've seen him in one of the other series get rid of the mandatory compound with only one lap down, and he went off to win the race by a long, long way. This is SS Man, again by himself. Like I said, the field will get compressed once all these strategies start closing down together. Razor's in fourth, and he's had a really good race himself. Nice and clean. Some good overtakes here and there. There's Hatfield. Chopper Dog's moved up to sixth after Knoxray went in. Pubs is also in seventh. And Knoxray, he's on the medium tyre at this moment. He's about a minute 21 off the leader, which is a long way back, to be fair. Here he is, the race leader. Let's ride on board for a lap, and let's see how he does it. Let's see the lines he takes. Take careful notice of his braking points, his turn-in points, how he's hitting the apexes, and exactly when he's getting on the power. Here we go, into turn one. And as we watch Keaton on board, we've got more facts with Daniel. Thanks to Aiden's hashtag. We're gonna, if you're out there tweeting in the world of Twitter, hashtag facts with Daniel. Remember this one, Hatfield was once a Pac-Man world champion. I'm sorry, I can't keep a straight face. Hatfield was once a Pac-Man world champion. The DRZ part of his PSN was his tag. So there you go. Like I said, who cares if it's true or not? It's a great story. Keeping a very tight line through there was Keaton. This is the Schumacher S's. Listen to see if he lifts. I think he did. I think he did. Just a slight lift. Coasting through that corner as well. And down the back straight. Keaton goes. He's extending his lead to 22 seconds. Pushing this VGT very hard indeed. Hopping the curbs. And that was a lap with our race leader. As we come to the closing stages now, and we're getting nearer and nearer the end. We're about to start lap 32 of 48, so there's not a lot left. Razor's on a 4-stop strategy, we would believe. And he runs in fourth right now. Will it be the quicker one, though? It could be. It could really end up being the quicker strategy here. He's only 40 seconds off Keaton. And if he only needs to splash and dash on his last run, and Keaton needs to do a full tank, that very well could be 40 seconds stationary in the pits. So keep your eyes very closely attached to this one. Go back. This was a move Razor did to get into that fourth spot. He was taking on Knoxright. Knoxright just went a little bit wide, and he took the inside line, and Razor, just with a simple move, nothing fancy. And he took fourth spot. That was back on lap 27. Here we are on 32. And he remains there, but like I said, I'm pretty sure he's doing a four-stopper here tonight. I just don't think he'll be able to make it on fuel. You can see he's really starting to close in the likes of SS Man in front of him in third. I really think Razor's on for a podium here tonight. I really, really do. Could be a big undercut. A very big undercut from Razor. Whether or not he'll get all the way up to first or even second, we have to wait and see, but I think he might. Oh, bit of a mistake. A bit of a mistake from Razor. Crossing across the gravel there. Just pushing so hard through the Michael Schumacher S's. And he just ran out of mechanical and aerodynamic grip, and the car just running wide. But he didn't lose too much time. He lost about a second and a half from that. So he was lucky not to end up deep and bogged in that gravel trap, because that really would have hurt him. SS Man, though, would have been none the wiser. He's just pushing on in third. But he'll be very, very closely watching the intervals, and he'll know Razor is definitely on for this one. So SS Man last lap, a 1:51.2. He takes a lot of that corner, doesn't he? Razor, a 1:51.9. So he was 7/10 down last lap, but that could have been due to the excursion he had before. It would have been. So their lap times are very similar. Our race leader currently doing a 1:50.4. So just a phenomenal pace around the Nurburgring GP. Phenomenal stuff. And I think Keaton might be coming in the next 3 or 4 laps. Brian did a 1:51.0, so you can see the difference between his pace and Keaton's. But Brian seems to be extending his stints just that little bit longer, and I think he's just trying to eke out, going for the overcut, essentially. We'll see if it works for him, though. The answers are coming, guys. The answers are coming. Prince is back. Just look down for the chat again. We've got another hashtag Facts with Daniel. And Keaton uses a dual shock controller for steering and a G29 for his pedals. So the pedals that come with the G29, I'd imagine. So just a multitasker, which apparently race drivers aren't well known for doing. So Keaton, definitely a hacker. Or just some sort of magical freak. He is so quick though. 23 seconds. And it doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to match his pace. And that could be what wins him this one. Could be just on pure pace alone. We'll get an update through the field. There's Brian in second. SS Man still got 5 seconds between him and Razor. But Razor, he's coming. He's Razor sharp. There's Chopper Dog, who once had a sausage dog. Hashtag Facts with Daniel. Hatfield, he's in 6th at the moment. There's Pubs in 7th, so he's lost his teammate. And Knoxright, who I thought was trying to extend and do a long, long run. I don't think it's going to work now. I think it's too little too late if that's what he was trying. what will give it away is his current pace, 153. Yeah, it's well off the pace, especially the front runners. And I think I just saw our leader come through the back of shot, and it was Keaton getting through the Mercedes complex. His lead, 24 seconds. It's just a huge lead. Brian as well. He's had a good... He's doing quick times as well. Brian is almost matching Keaton's speed here. That's why I think Brian's first long stint on strategy could be the difference. I really do. But I also think Razor's got something up his sleeve. So they're definitely the two to keep an eye on. Razor. Here's your hashtag facts with Daniel for Razor. He got his name from when he first tried to shave and nicked his face and needed stitches. And that name has clearly stuck with him ever since. That's a deep cut. That's a very deep cut. He must have been 4,797 stitches, I'd imagine. I'd imagine that's what that number's for. The amount of stitches he needed. It's a big number, but, you know, deep enough, and you might need that many. He's currently fourth. He hasn't been able to pull in SS Man at the moment. We thought he might be able to do that. Now, we're coming up onto lap 36, so keep an eye on Keaton, the leader. He's either going to be having to pull in here or the next lap. And Razor as well. He was off sequence, so I'm expecting him to splash and dash at some point. It could be after. I would have thought before our leader does, but it could be after. Jono seems to be in agreement with that and just says yes. So we'll go with that one. We'll run with that. Yeah, our race leader. We're interested to see, does he pit or does he extend? He's got the fastest lap at the moment with a 1:49.8. That's a quick time around here. So Turn Left Racing will be happy with that. He should be able to keep that one. I don't think anyone's going to beat that tonight. It's a very, very competitive time. Is he heading for the pit lane? He is. Our leader's into the pits, and like I said, it'll be for the last time. He will need to fill up all the way, though. That's what I want to see. Is Razor too far back, though? He's 42 seconds off. It will continue to drop, but I don't know if Keaton's going to be stopped for 42 seconds. Here he is, he's in. Tyres on. He's going to need almost a full tank, and there it is. He's refueling. Brian's coming around. He will take the first. S-Man's coming in. Razor's 14 seconds off. Oh, this could be really tight. This could be really tight. He's getting out. It's going to not be enough for Razor. There's Razor. He's just at the back end of that straight. And Keaton just exiting. Razor just didn't have the pace for that middle stint. So he's out of this one. Third, though, definitely in contention for third. The lead. I don't know if Brian extending early will work. I think Keaton's just got too much pace. Unless Brian's extending here and can go to the end, I wouldn't believe it. Hatfield's also in. So we'll finish off his medium stint. Pubs as well. So a lot of drivers choosing to do the 3-stopper tonight. We're expecting Razor to do 4. But crazier things have happened. He's currently third. SS Man, who is in 4th, is 32 seconds behind him. So if Razor only has to splash and dash, that very well could be enough. And that could be the overcut of the night. A big overcut, because it all started with his early pit stop back in the opening stages of this race. We're coming to 10 laps to go. Brian leads. And I don't think Brian's going to the pits. He's not. That's where Keaton is. He currently sits in 2nd place. And we're just going to have to wait and see how this one plays out. We really will. Well, Razor's coming in. All right, so he's got a 31-second buffer from between him and SS Man. SS Man will see that. He'll be putting on full power into the engine here. It's hammer time for SS Man, as they'd say. Razor, he won't need a full tank, but it's going to be close to it. I don't think he's got enough time, because Keaton, even with 40 seconds, that was about the gap between him and Razor when he ended. So this is going to be close, I think. SS Man into the final corner now. There's going to be a race for 3rd here, definitely. Razor's still sitting still, but he's going to be at the end of that pit lane. SS Man crossing the start-finish line. It's a go for Razor. Here we go. Where's SS Man? He's at the breaking point already, but Razor's really closed that gap. 4 seconds. I think he made up about a second in that pit stop then over SS Man. It's close though. Razor got the fresher tyres. He's going to be quick towards the end. He did a 4-stop, interestingly. And Noxrai's in. So Noxrai has done his medium that stint too. So he'll be good to the end as well. Very close from Razor though. Very, very close. 4.5 seconds. Keep an eye on that interval. Now, I did say SS Man could be an homage to the Holden Commodore, but hashtag facts with Daniel. He drives a Falcon. SS Man drives a Falcon. So, he's actually an XR8 man, or XR6 man. He's done a good job tonight though. And he's actually built that lead up over Razor, so Razor could be in some trouble here trying to catch the gap. He'll be fine behind Chopper Dog, because he's in 5th. He does have Hatfield with him, not too far off either. So a small mistake from Chopper Dog. Hatfield will be on the pounce on that one. And that's going to be between, it's just Pubs. Pubs is by himself. Hatfield's 8 seconds up on him, and Noxrai, well, he's getting lapped at the moment, so he'll do his best to let the faster traffic through. Brian F still leads this race. I thought he might be able to extend, but you know, with 9 laps to go, I don't know if he's going to be able to make it that far. Because if he does, I think that'll make it a 2-stop for Brian, and I don't think that's at all possible. So we're expecting to see him into the pits, well, in a few laps, or if not this lap. But it's going to mean he's going to be battling for 2nd, 3rd, if that happens. Brian F, yeah, he's changing line, so he's coming across. There's SS Man, 47 seconds off the leader. Keaton was about 6. I think Brian will easily come out in the 2nd here, as Keaton rounds the last corner and retakes the lead of this race with 9 laps remaining. This was the former leader Brian with his last pit stop here. This is where SS Man is. The gap's 48 seconds. You can see Brian's already being released. And that will be enough. I think Brian will be good to go. He's got a big buffer between him and SS Man. So first and second, unless, touch wood, they don't make any huge errors or misjudgments, they should be seeing the first and second steps of that podium at the end of this one. SS Man though, Razor's really, he's actually closed that gap. It's under 4 seconds now. He's not too far off him. He's got visual contact with the guy. And this is where it's going to be for. It's going to be a race for third. Razor, though, he needs to keep the car pointing straight and true and not drifting too much, because he'll lose some speed and time by doing that. Prince of Underground he's just loving the liveries. So for those of you watching this one on replay, RaceOnOz, you've got fans out there. You've got some fans. You do always do great jobs. I must say, the liveries on show here are top notch. There must be a couple of guys that do them for you, but they do a great job. 3.6 seconds the gap. SS Man's last lap was a 151.4. Now if we head to fourth place Razor. My bad, I've hit the wrong button. He did win 151.1, so he's 0.3 quicker. So he will definitely close the gap if he keeps doing that. Has he got enough laps left to do it though? He's got 8 to go now. The gap, well, it's still hovering around about 4 seconds. He closes the gap and then it opens back up again. So the updated time, Razor was 155. $151.1. Ooh, okay, that's a big difference now. SS Man, he might be struggling with grip. Let's have a look. No, he's not. He's got plenty of grip. He's got plenty of fuel as well. So does Razor. So they're not worried about grip or fuel here. It's all just pure pace and confidence they've got in the car. 3.4 seconds now the difference. And Razor's slowly running out of laps here though. Slowly. But it's just within reach and he just needs to keep pushing. Put his head down and concentrate here. He needs to be flawless in these last 7.5 laps. Race leader though, GT Academy driver, former GT Academy driver rather, driving with a dual shock controller and using some G29 pedals to make the car stop and go. Just a magical freak. He's almost in the lead of this run by 30 seconds over the second place competitor Brian. And you must say, it's just been a masterclass for him today. Everything's on point. Went with the simple strategy, the 3-stop every 12 laps. And even on the medium tyre, he was showing phenomenal pace. So the mandatory compound not slowing him down too much at all. Now Brian, he's had a great one. He started in the midfield of this one actually. Extended his first stint and he finds himself in second, so it's worked for him, I'd say. Because he'd have to almost match lap for lap what Keaton's doing, and he wouldn't have been able to do that with that extending he did, because he would have had the engine turned down to get that fuel run the way he did. It was about 14 or 15 laps. But it's worked, and he'll be happy with that result, I'd say. Now, 3.7, 3.6, it just always seems to be hovering around 4 seconds. Razor seems to be a little bit quicker at the moment, but whether or not he's making little errors here and there that are just costing him time on track. Because it just seems that way. Great car though, and great livery. Now let's check through the field. Oh, we got some competition going on for 5th here. Look at Hatfield. He's not far off the back end of Chopper Dog. It could be an overtake in the making here. Keep an eye on this one. Under braking, Chopper Dog chucking the car in. Trying to get it rotated. Chopper Dog doing a good job. The gap, he just gained a 10 through that corner. But Hatfield's looking quick. Seven tenths. Chopper Dog looks really, really powerful in this last sector. Look at that, under braking, closing it in. Closing that gap down to almost nothing. And Hatfield knows he's got little time left. He just needs to be patient here. He just needs to size his opponent up and make the move stick when he gets the chance. Because he looks quick. And he looks a lot more confident under braking. Could just be a trick of the eye, but it seems that way. Quick check up with Pubs. He's good. He's 10 seconds off now. And there's Knox Wright in 8th. There's a battle going on here for 6th and 5th. And it's hanging around the 5/10 mark here, and this is where Hatfield seems to lose time on Chopper Dog, is this last sector. So if he does get in front, he's going to probably do it in the first 2 sectors. Oh, he's super close here though. I think Chopper might be able to get the power down a little bit sooner. Hatfield trying. He's going to have the slipstream, which will benefit him. He's looking for a way through. Coming into the chicane. Now that's the 43rd time they've navigated their way through here. We've only seen one first lap incident at the start. It's been some very clean racing from these boys. It's been a long race as well, but they've done a fantastic job. And look here, slipstream again. Just running out of power in the VGT. The gap, it's not closing quick enough for Razor. It is lower than we've seen it, but it's taken him far too long to close that gap now. 3.3 seconds. I think SS Man could be well on his way to a podium here. Just needs to stay accident free though. Chopper Dog doing the best he can to defend this one. This is going to play out to the last lap, I'd imagine. So don't go anywhere. This is going to get very interesting. Very wide run for Chopper Dog. But he got it rotated in the end. Yeah, and don't forget the Le Mans 24 Hour is on as well. They'll be coming up to the last hour of racing. As we get to the end of this race. So if you're itching for some more motorsport after this one, don't forget you've got about an hour's left of the Le Mans race. As soon as this one finishes. But at the moment, we're trying to figure out who's going to take 5th or 6th. Is it Hatfield or Chopper Dog? At the moment, it's looking like it could be either or. Chopper Dog doing a fine job. Hatfield's looking quick though. It looks like he's found and fixed his issues in the last sector because he's a lot closer this time around. And I think he could be on for a move here. He's a lot closer. Chopper Dog will know it. And Hatfield trying to get the crossover there, but not quite. Chopper Dog is trying to make his car very wide, wider than it was built. She's going to have to think big here. The pressure's intense from Hatfield. Jono's letting us know RaceOnOz have got a 3-hour Nurburgring race next Saturday. Unfortunately, I won't be able to stream that because I'll be at the. I've got a new house, as most of you know, and I thought it'd take me 2 or 3 weeks to complete, but I've discovered if you think it takes 2 or 3 weeks, turn that into months. Got to put up a fence and got a new kitchen going in next weekend, so I'll be very, very busy. Oh, Hatfield, out of shape, and that was the relief I think Chopper Dog's been looking for. Let's have a look. Hatfield, he was super tight to the back end of Chopper Dog's car. But as he was pushing it through, he hit the grass, and look at that, it's got the car all crossed up, and he had to slow the car down, and it's really widened that gap now. He's going to have to do a lot of work to close that one back down as we start lap 46. 3 laps to go. This is Caden. Like I said, flawless from him. He's got a 40-second lead. Just no one's been able to touch him today. Brian F. also a very, very honourable mention from him as well. He's had a very good race. Strategy, I think, has worked for him. And like I said, he'll be happy with that one. SS Man's not too far off, but he's not going to be able to close that gap with the time we've got left. And it looks like Razor has managed to get it under 3 seconds, but he's just run out of laps here to get that last podium spot. He's just run out of laps. Chopper Dog. Oh, he's got the indicator on. He's playing mind games with us. He's trying to upset Hatfield here. Just anything he's got, any tool he's got for him. Oh, very wide. It's a second the gap. We've seen it under that. But Hatfield made the mistake, and I think that might have hurt his chances here of getting one more spot up the road. Really think it did. Because Chopper Dog for Turn Left Racing is doing a great job of staying error-free. And that could be the difference here tonight. He's going to have the slipstream, is Hatfield, though. He's got it to under a second. We're on the penultimate lap here of this endurance race for RaceOnOz. This is round 5 at the Nurburgring Grand Prix circuit. And what a show they've put on for us in these VGT cars. 1,000 horsepower. And they've been able to control them with some big precision. Strategy's played a big role as well. A bit of a wide run for Chopper Dog. He's pushing it hard now. Looks like a bit of understeer was starting to creep in. This is Brian in second. But Keaton's on his final lap. He's getting through the Mercedes complex for the final time. And he'll no doubt grow that lead to at least 43 by the end of this lap. But what a run it's been for Keaton. Flawless run. Hashtag no filter. And to be very pleased with his performance here today. Chopper Dog still defending it. Still kept that gap to about a second. I think it's going to be enough. They're coming up to the final lap. And he's managed to keep that gap around relatively 1.1, 1.2 seconds. He's actually grown the lead off Hatfield here. Hatfield's going to be kicking himself for making that mistake. But this is the man of the hour, Keaton 231. He's going to win round 5, and it's going to be just a flawless victory. Massive, massive gap. And here he goes into the last corner here at the Nurburgring. He's going to be seeing the checkered flag fly, and it's going to be a win for round 5 for Keaton 231. Flawless run from him. Well done. Brian F. will be next across the line. Here he is. He's not too far off. Well, he's 43 seconds off. That's just how quick Keaton was tonight. Just too quick. SS Man. Razors closed that gap to a second. But like I said, he's just run out of laps. He's going to need some sort of miracle if he's going to get third. It's not going to happen for him, though. But here's Brian. He'll see the flag as well. His strategy's on point tonight, and he'll take the second spot. Congratulations to Brian. And there's SS Man for the final podium position. Razor takes fourth as the flag flies. Just ran out of laps there in the end. Chopper Dog, well, he extended his lead on Hatfield after that small error. The pressure was on, but Chopper Dog kept his cool. And there he goes. He's reaped the rewards from that. And he'll get a top 5 finish here in round 5. Nothing, not a small feat at all. A great job from him. And there it is. It's confirmed, and there's 6th spot for Hatfield. 7th will take for Pubs. Knox Wright got 8th. But it was this man, Keeds 231, with the win. And what a win it was. 43 seconds. Tonight, guys, there's a winner, Keaton 231 on the podium on the top spot. And thanks to RaceOnOz for having me along again. Sorry I've been away for so long, guys, but we will get into a proper schedule. I would hope in the next few weeks, once I'm all settled in the new place, I will release that schedule. And everybody will know what's going on. But we got the SFR GT Challenge for me in the morning anyway. If you're in the US, it's 9 p.m. Eastern time. It starts 10 a.m. here in the eastern side of Australia, if you're in Australia. Otherwise, keep an eye out on your notifications on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. Excuse me, we streamed all 3. But I'd like to thank everyone that's joined me tonight. And thanks to hashtag Facts with Daniel. That was a great featured segment. We should have more often. Aiden Matthews, he really wants to see Bo take on Keaton. Hopefully we can sort that out at some point. That'll be good. Keaton is Igor Fraga, says Daniel. Well, there we go. It was revealed to us right at the death. That's exactly why he won, because he's Igor Fraga. Well, less than an hour left in Le Mans, so I'm going to go off and watch that, guys. Keep an eye on Discord if you're on that as well. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Aiden. Thank you. Who else did we have? We had Jono, Bastian, Tyson. We had Prince on YouTube. We had Luigi come in and ask what we were playing. Pretty sure that's what he said in Italian. And then on the other side of things, Prince and Jin as well. Thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure, guys. So sorry I can't hang around any longer, but thanks for the likes, thanks for the shares, and I will see you in in about 12 hours' time when we start the SFR GT Challenge. But thanks to thanks to RaceOnOz. If you want to check them out, raceonoz.com, and don't forget, race hard and on the edge. Until the next video, I'll see you then. Good night.